Hospital tonight after a Caltrans tripod comes crashing through a windshield, impaling his chest and leaving him with several injuries. But it could have been a whole lot worse. This man is now facing charges. Here he is right here. He's accused of throwing that tripod, get this, from an overpass. It happened along I-5 at 2nd Street near Capitol Avenue. Fox 40's Doug Johnson spoke to the driver of that van and is live in Old Sacramento tonight with more. Doug.
Nikki, about a block from where I'm standing is where police say that the suspect stole that tripod and then brought it over here to 2nd Street and threw it onto the freeway, almost killing the man it landed on.
Well, I was picking a veteran up from the Sacramento airport, heading to Mather to pick up another veteran. That's what we do.
Tim Page was in the Military Family Support Group's van heading south on Interstate 5 when suddenly something pierced their windshield.
And out of the corner of my eye, I see this yellow thing, and the next thing I know, my partner or my rider has this thing stuck in his chest.
Minutes earlier, the California Highway Patrol says 32-year-old Matthew Adam Thompson, who is a transient, stole that tripod from a Caltrans survey team on Front Street. For whatever reason, Thompson walked a block, and according to the CHP, he threw the tripod onto I-5 from 2nd Street.
Then when I looked over and saw my buddy, it was like...
Tripod had impaled the passenger. Page pulled onto the shoulder, and he admits he panicked.
Where I was a little bit excited.
But his passenger, a retired Army veteran and police officer, remained calm.
And there was no blood or anything, and I didn't realize that spike had gone into his chest, into his lung, and broke 4 ribs.
In fact, Page says his passenger didn't even think they should call 911.
He says, "No, I'm okay." And I looked at the windshield and I said, "We can't drive out of here anyway. I'm calling 911.
While waiting for an ambulance in the rain, Page says his passenger actually asked to move up under the overpass so that the first responders wouldn't get wet once they arrived.
You know, he's very experienced in what he did before he retired.
The CHP used surveillance video later in the day to track down and arrest Thompson. Meanwhile, the incident hasn't slowed down the Military Family Support Group.
In fact, one of our volunteer drivers picked up our van and is already transporting another veteran to Mather today.
Page says his passenger is still recovering in the hospital, but he's in good spirits today.
When I called him, he jokingly said, "Veterans something Transportation Department," when he answered the phone.
But just a few inches to the left, and his passenger would have been much worse off.
He could have been dead. I mean, if that thing if it would have hit over here in his heart, I mean, that spike's that long, and it went all the way in.
Now, that suspect has not been charged with a crime yet. He was picked up on an outstanding warrant, but he could now face attempted murder charges. Meanwhile, that nonprofit we told you about, they are looking for donations for that veteran. You can find out how to help them on our Fox 40 News app. Reporting live in Old Sacramento tonight, Doug Johnson, Fox 40 News.
Doug, thank you. A nasty crash in Placer